It started with a single photo. A grainy image began circulating on social media in mid-August 2025, just weeks before the MTV Video Music Awards. The claim? That ARMY, the loyal fandom of BTS, had allegedly gone so far as to bribe an orphanage with pizza in exchange for votes for Jimin in the upcoming Best Boy Solo Artist category. The accusation spread like wildfire. On Twitter, TikTok, and even Reddit forums, critics of ARMY amplified the rumor, presenting it as yet another example of extreme fandom behavior. Hashtags like #Jimin VMA vote and #PizzaGateArmy trended globally, mixing both ridicule and outrage. But as with many viral claims in the digital age, the truth tells a very different story. The so-called evidence came from a photo of children holding up pizza boxes while someone in the background appeared to be using a smartphone. At first glance, the narrative almost seemed believable, fans feeding orphans in exchange for online votes. But digital investigators and K-pop media outlets quickly pointed out a glaring fact. The photo wasn't even from 2025. In reality, the image was traced back to Pinterest uploads from 2019, completely unrelated to Jimin or BTS. The photo had been originally posted as part of a lifestyle blog showcasing charity events, not fandom activity. Within hours, ARMY mobilized. Fans flooded the platforms with side-by-side comparisons showing the original Pinterest link versus the doctored screenshot used by trolls. Others highlighted the inconsistencies, the outdated smartphones in the picture, the lack of VMA's branding, and the fact that MTV's voting process doesn't even allow mass manipulation in the way suggested. Their response was swift, coordinated, and effective. What started as an attack on Jimin's reputation turned into yet another example of ARMY's ability to fact-check, organize, and defend the group with undeniable proof. The timing of this smear campaign is telling. In August 2025, Jimin is at one of his highest points in his solo career. His record-breaking success on Spotify US charts, coupled with his global brand ranking dominance, has made him both a fan favorite and, inevitably, a target for detractors. By attempting to frame ARMY in a negative light, anti-fans hope to diminish Jimin's chances of winning big at the 2025 VMAs. Instead, the opposite happened. The scandal drew more attention to him, with sympathetic fans and even neutral observers rallying behind the singer. This incident raises an even bigger question about the power of fandom in the digital era. ARMY's dedication to BTS, and to Jimin specifically, has been called unparalleled by media outlets worldwide. Whether it's streaming records, voting campaigns, or shutting down false narratives, fans continue to prove that their influence extends far beyond music. And while some may attempt to weaponize that power against the group, moments like this only strengthen the bond between Jimin and his supporters. So, did ARMY really bribe an orphanage to vote for Jimin at the 2025 VMAs? The answer is a resounding no. The photos were fake, the story was fabricated, and the claim was debunked within days. But if history has taught us anything, it's that BTS and their fans will continue to face rumors and smear campaigns. And just like every other time, the truth will eventually shine brighter than the noise. The speed of this rumor spread is what truly shocked fans and casual observers alike. In just 48 hours, the hashtag linking Jimin and the so-called orphanage pizza bribe racked up nearly 2 million mentions across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Even people outside the K-pop communities stumbled across the claim, many wondering if there was any truth to it. Why? Because the rumor wasn't just a baseless tweet, it was dressed up as evidence. Screenshots of the fake photo were paired with captions like, "Look what ARMY is doing just to win votes," and "Proof Jimin's fandom cheats the system." For those unfamiliar with how ARMY operates, it was easy to fall for. But for longtime fans, it was yet another reminder of how Jimin seems to attract both the brightest love and the darkest envy in the industry. For ARMY, this wasn't just about debunking a lie, it was personal. On Weverse, fans shared their frustration. They always target Jimin right when he's at his peak. Why can't they let him shine without trying to drag him down? I don't care about awards, but I care about Jimin's name. Don't play with him like this. Many pointed out the emotional exhaustion of constantly defending BTS against fabricated scandals. Since the group's debut, they've weathered countless rumors, but the attacks often hit hardest when directed at individual members, especially someone like Jimin, who is known for his sensitivity and emotional connection to fans.
The 2025 MTV VMAs are a huge moment, not just for Jimin, but for K-pop as a whole. With BTS fresh out of military service and slowly regrouping, the award show has become a battleground for global recognition. Jimin's nomination in the Best Boy Solo Artist category marks his continued dominance as a solo performer. But behind the glitz and glamour lies the reality. Every vote counts, and every rumor can potentially sway public perception. Was the hoax designed to lower his chances? Many fans believe so. By painting ARMY as desperate cheaters, the smear campaign attempted to discredit not only the fandom, but also Jimin's legitimacy as a nominee. Once fact-checking outlets like India Times and K-pop Reporter stepped in, the narrative shifted. Headlines quickly labeled the rumor as false, exposing the original photo as recycled content from years ago. But here's the irony. While the hoax was meant to damage Jimin's reputation, the correction ended up doing the opposite. News coverage emphasized how dedicated ARMY is, not corrupt, and how quickly they shut down misinformation. Suddenly, the story wasn't Jimin accused of bribery, it became ARMY protects Jimin from lies. And in the world of public perception, that's a win. It's worth asking, why does Jimin, in particular, seem to be the target of so many smear attempts? Some fans suggest it's because of his undeniable solo success. In August 2025, he's making history on Spotify, dominating brand rankings and drawing massive anticipation for both solo and BTS projects. Whenever his star rises too high, anti-fans seem desperate to pull him back down. Others believe it's because Jimin represents something deeper, a symbol of ARMY's emotional core. He's not just a performer, he's the heart of BTS for many. Attacking him isn't just about him, it's about testing the resilience of the fandom itself. And time after time, ARMY proves unshakable. By the end of the week, the rumor had all but died. Fans had flooded the voting system with legitimate votes, determined to show their love for Jimin without shortcuts. The hashtag #WeVoteWithLoveJimin trended worldwide, replacing the negativity with overwhelming positivity. What was meant to be a weapon against Jimin became yet another showcase of his impact. Instead of damaging his image, the hoax reminded the world of how fiercely loved and fiercely protected he is. As the VMAs draw closer, speculation continues. Will the controversy affect the results? Or will the backlash against the hoax actually boost Jimin's chances? No one can predict the final outcome. But one thing is certain. Jimin has already won something far greater, the unwavering loyalty of millions who refuse to let falsehoods define him. Because in the end, rumors fade. But Jimin's truth, his artistry, and his bond with ARMY remain unshakable. If there's one thing ARMY has grown accustomed to over the years, it's defending BTS against false narratives. From malicious YouTubers spreading defamation, to tabloids exaggerating personal lives, to trolls fabricating evidence online, BTS and their fandom have endured it all. But the August 2025 hoax targeting Jimin felt different. Why? Because it weaponized charity, something deeply tied to ARMY's identity. For over a decade, BTS fans have been recognized for their generosity, funding scholarships, donating to children's hospitals, planting forests in members' names.
So to suggest that ARMY would exploit orphans with pizza for selfish gain struck at the very heart of who they are. The anger wasn't just about protecting Jimin's reputation. It was about protecting the integrity of ARMY itself. Unlike casual fandoms, ARMY functions almost like a grassroots movement. When the hoax surfaced, fan bases across Twitter, TikTok, and Weverse quickly mobilized. Fact-check threads began circulating with source links to the original Pinterest post. Designers created easy-to-share infographics debunking the rumor in multiple languages. Influential fan accounts with millions of followers amplified the corrections, ensuring the truth reached beyond just the fandom bubble. Even K-media reporters were tagged in droves until they addressed the misinformation. In less than 72 hours, what could have been a damaging smear had turned into a masterclass in digital activism. One ARMY post summed it up perfectly. "You can't break us with lies. We've been through worse, and every time, we come back stronger."